another important aspect of Premam is time. Looking back, is there, do you see a different changed person, like the three phases in Premam? Do you see a difference in you, and what has changed over the years?
Definitely, I can very easily look back at my life and connect some dots with Premam, like from the teenage episode to the school episode to the college episode and now to professional career. I definitely can look back and relate to all three of them in terms of maturity levels, how I've changed, like how I look at life, how I look at love, how I look at myself. My arrogance, my anger, my temperament, everything's changed, and I think everyone goes through those changes. Like now, if I look back at what I did when I was 13 or 14, I would laugh. I would think how silly was I. And same when I look back at college, I laugh at myself for certain things I did. And I'm sure when I'm 40 or 50, I look back to when I was 30 and laugh about how I dealt with certain things. So yeah, that transformation has been there. And I think it's very important for everyone to keep growing in life like that, keep maturing, keep progressing. We should never hit a wall. So yeah.
So, since Josh to now, what has changed when your perspective on films and your career? Has anything changed there?
A lot. I think I'm a little clearer on what roles suit me now. I'm much clearer on that. I'm starting to understand what the audience likes about me and what they dislike about me. Back then, while doing Josh, I don't know, I wouldn't think about what film I'm going to do next, or strategize anything, nothing at all. I would just listen to any scripts, attempt anything, if someone would say this, I would just listen to them, just go blind,
Right.
But now it's more strategy, it's more understanding what the audience like, understanding what the critics are saying. If the critics are saying you're not good at this, I'm able to digest it, go back home, think about it. So a certain maturity has come up.
Right.
So yeah, definitely things are different from Josh to now, how
Right.
I look at
So,
cinema.
do you take your own decisions now, or is there always constant support from dad? And
There is constant support, but at the end of the day, they insist saying, if I'm saying something, I don't want you to blindly believe it. You process it, you digest it. I might be wrong too, but take your own call. We'll always advise you. So that advice is always there from family, friends, and I look a lot. Now we have social media.
Yeah.
Twitter timeline is flooded with comments. Facebook is flooded with comments. YouTube. So I really look at all those comments to try and see what people think.
right.
Yeah.
So, does it get very hard for you to, to be always on top of the game, while in front of the camera, or?
Yeah, it is hard until you have to be at the top of your game. I would say that because there's so much competition around. I mean, there's so many actors who are doing so many new things and doing so many different things that the game is getting better and better every day. And if you're not at the top of your game, I don't think you're going to survive in the industry today.
Right.
Back then, yeah, the industry was a lot different. There were few more heroes making, very different kind of scripts. They had their centric fan following, but now it's very different. You have to be ahead of, you have to keep refreshing your game and keep getting
Right.
better and better.
So I'm sure there must be few bad days where you're frustrated. And how do you deal with such?
Sure, there are
times?
lows. There are days when you see too much negativity from outside. There are days when people are only putting you down. You hardly see a positive comment. There are always ups and downs in this profession, but I think the most important thing is to not let yourself drop, to be strong, don't let anyone break you, and I think if you just keep fighting that, you'll get better and better. It's just mental strength. I don't think it's anything more than
What's the toughest part about facing the camera?
that. The toughest part, I think it's fighting that insecurity factor, knowing that there's so much competition, knowing that you have to be perfect, you have to, give it your 100%. It's that insecurity that's always inside you saying, are you doing your best? Are you, it's that question. It's about fighting that question and being confident. I think that's the toughest part. Yeah.
Chair, recently every teaser was released,
Yeah.
but there was a lot of negativity on the social media.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
did you actually deal with it? Because I'm sure you always knew that there will be comparisons with
True,
Premam.
true.
Were you up for this?
True. See, one thing that I've noticed is a lot of the negativity or comparisons are coming from people who've already watched the film. which is primarily the Malayalam audience and to a certain extent the Tamil audience. One thing, I've always made clear, and I also want to make clear now, is Premam the Original is a fantastic film. It's a classic, it's a cult. It inspired me in many ways. At the same time, Nivin is a fantastic actor. I look up to him a lot. At the same time, Sai Pallavi, Madonna, Anupama, they've all done fantastic parts in that film. When we picked up Premam, we never wanted to be better than them in any way, We're not into that race at all, that we want to prove a point that Telugu can make a better cinema than Malayalam cinema. That's not our intention at all.